morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday. The day of the week I was born. Significant. Should always honor the day of the week that you were born, even more highly than any other day of the week. This morning, the topic of discussion is reframing the mind, because as so many of us can know and tell, 33 seconds, the mind is the last one to catch up, right? And so that's why it's so important to anchor into our inner truths, 44 seconds, our higher knowledge, our higher power, so that we can make the moves and the actions that align 55 seconds with the direction we need and want to go, even if we're not even, fully connected to, that feeling of alignment or that connection that, we feel between ourselves and spirit or source and creator. Even if that connection is fuzzy, you still have the full capabilities and the full power within yourself to move through uncertainty. 134 on the timer. That's specific for someone seeing 134. So I want to start off by saying that, for many of us, even in the astral realm, when we're sleeping, there's no rest. there's no peace. I don't know. I'm always off somewhere else where it still feels kind of dense energy, and I know that with the people I'm meeting in the astral, I'm doing work with them, and but also signifying and symbolizing the fact that the brain is the last to catch up. Therefore, in the dream state, we probably are going to experience a little bit more density. 233 on the timer. Because when I'm awake here during the day, I'm definitely feeling like I have more control. 244 on the timer. More opportunity. I have more consciousness. And in another new way, because this is a new experience for me with having this amount of freedom and health across the board and liberation. 303 on the timer. I'm filled with so much energy, and it's so hard to sleep. It's so hard to sleep at night. My mind is so stimulated, my spirit is so stimulated, my body, and it's almost difficult to fall asleep, because it's I'm having so much fun. I'm having so much fun in my wake state. But in the astral, it's whew, it's still work. But I am feeling a shift with this. The shift is coming in the physical as well, as I am navigating and switching the way that I'm operating and perceiving and things of that sort. So, give me a second. 404 on the timer. What I wanted to speak further about was my practices this morning at the park. Oh, hold on. Brain break. We're stopping at the water. I hope you can hear the trickling. Oh, every time I will stop here, because it's just this beautiful little place of stillness where all I hear is the water. I am the water. There's nothing else that exists. There's nothing else that exists in or around me. I'm just the water. I'm the stream, ever going, ever running, in knowledge, expansiveness. Just like the universe, we have no limitations. So, yeah, this morning, 5:05 on the timer, is about reframing because our brain is the last to catch up. So, what that looked like this morning, I'm following my usual structure. I take my little to the bus, and then I do various stretches and exercises at the park and getting my body ready before I take my walk. And so I was connecting with the sun, absolutely, moving my body, dancing, moving energy somatically. And I was checking in with all of my chakras, because if you have not heard the previous message, 555, if you did not hear a previous message that I had put out recently, it was for you to use the sun to connect with each chakra. Go through it, go through your chakras and connect directly with the beams of the sun to that chakra in order to bring about, healing and cleansing to these specific areas. So, I'm doing Reiki and I'm going through my chakras as well, and everything seems pretty clear except for my womb, which I am on my cycle right now. So, we're cleaning out and we're cleansing out. And a dove just flew right above across me. There's so much abundance here. And excuse me, my energy's just a little bit all over, but how can it not be? How can it not be? Like, there's so many miraculous things around us to be in touch with. And the only difference about it is that we just get used to seeing it. We stop seeing the magic. We stop connecting to that 707 childlike curiosity of, like what it's like to go to bed before, on Christmas Eve, and just filled with so much jubilee. Like, that's the word that wants to come through for me, jubilee. And, oh goodness, jubilee. Wow. There's like a guide or someone coming through to me right now, and they're signifying, like, that's my name. That's my name. Like I guessed it. There's a child spirit coming through. Oh my goodness. Oh, thank you. That's so beautiful. Oh, she is darling. Hello, Jubilee. Oh my. Thank you so much for making yourself known. You are absolutely beautiful. I hope that you will, I'm not a good artist, but I hope that you will allow me to try to sketch you, because you are absolutely beautiful. You are divine, you little angel, you. Okay, Jubilee, you can stick around as long as you'd like. So, yeah, it's like that feeling of going to sleep on Christmas Eve and you're just filled with so much excitement for the next day, for your life, for what the experiences are about to bring. And, the big message behind that, of course, is Spirit wants you to know and to say that, what are you waiting for? It doesn't need, every day is special. So, don't wait for something external outside of yourself to give you meaning or to give you permission to feel excited, to hold that type of jubilee and curiosity and tenacity and just everything, about your day and what you want to walk into. You hold, the pen, the pencil of your life, of your world, 9:34 on the timer, of every day. And yes, it will take practice. Yes, it will take practice of anchoring into and reframing your mind, which is what we're going to get back to talking about here once I've stepped away from the little side quest of stories. But I will never apologize for that, you hear me? Because the side quests is what makes everything amazing. Holy cow. Like, where would we be without the side quests? And so yeah, I was doing Reiki on myself with the sun and going through my chakras, and that was when I noticed the swelling of emotion that was within my sacral and within my womb at this time. Feelings of, this hurt. Nothing too deep, but, like these feelings of loss or betrayal, and the hurt and pain that often comes with these life changes that we go through, these tower moments that we experience, whenever we are divinely set onto a different timeline, or when we've been saved, when God has quite literally plucked us out of one situation and one group of people and put us in another. Those transitions can be so sudden that it absolutely can create a trauma. Because when you think about the logistics of our brain is quite literally at every given second firing off, trying to, what's the word, Spirit? Help me. Trying to predict the next moment. It compares the past moments and the present moment in order to express and project this reality before us. Otherwise, our reality would be and feel like very jagged. It would not be the reality 1212 on the timer as we know it to be. So in order to have like a smooth transition between moment to moment, the logistics of our brain absolutely does this for us. Now, and like many things in life, it's a double-edged sword. This can show up that it's not helpful, and it could be harming us and in some certain ways. And so, that's exactly the scenario. So I was acknowledging and feeling into this energy within my womb and within my sacral space. And so this is where the reframing comes in. So I acknowledge what's there, because it doesn't matter what the feeling is, it's real, it's true to you, and therefore it needs to be acknowledged. I'm also feeling the call to repeat this again for someone that needs to hear it, is that we are also the creators of our own perceived pain and trauma. Okay? When we attach a story to something that happens to us, for instance, we go through a breakup, everyone goes through this when we go through a breakup. But if we have abandonment wounds, if we've had a lot of loss, if we've had relationships, that obviously have not worked out, we're not happily married, etc. Many times we attach a story to it, like, and we'll get triggered because, like, oh, maybe mom or dad wasn't there, they weren't emotionally available, maybe this person abused us and this person did this, and so we start to form this home within lack, within doubt, or belief that there's something wrong with us. Okay, those thoughts, those beliefs that you have full power and full control over, 1414 on the timer, they are the thoughts and the beliefs that are going to form the depths, and not just the depths, but the energetic cord and attachment that you share between you and your trauma. So when you work on reframing your mind and you anchor into what you know is true, you can absolutely prevent 1444 on the timer. You can absolutely prevent yourself from spiraling into any sort of mental health crisis, any trauma, and you prevent external experiences from affecting you deeply and more directly. So this is what that's about. So I acknowledge that pain and those feelings within myself, within my body. And, this is where I also have to connect with the energy of the mind and speak to your brain, because your brain has its own energy. Your brain absolutely has its own personality. It is a sentient being, and it is separate from you. It's separate from you. Although it's connected, it does have a separate energy. So just in the ways that you talk to an inner child, or you talk to release energy from other areas of your body, your organs, muscles, bones, etc., the brain is an organ. You got to do it for the brain too. And so I was reframing myself through this pain by reminding myself that and raising up the people who, through my perception, hurt me. Because yes, there was pain, but I also know, I know 100%, and I believe 100% with no speck of a doubt, through the practices that I have with healing and alchemizing, pain is not just a pain. It's a catalyst. It's a key. It's a gateway. It's a doorway. And it is something so infinite, so miraculous, so beautiful. And it's within a space that many people cannot get to for good reasons. There's protection around this. This is why a lot of people, before they get there, they'll fall off, or they'll fall back because it's too much. The intensity of the pain is too much. But I'm here to remind you that fear and pain, ultimately that fear, that doubt, it can't hurt you. It can't physically hurt you. It can't. It's a delusion. It's a misconception. It can't do anything to you. And yes, absolutely, if you are not in the best of physical health, this energy, especially pain within the heart space, yeah, if you're not okay, if you're not physically well, this can and will affect your heart space. And when we're doing heavy alchemizing within that heart space, we absolutely can experience those fluctuations in the heart, palpitations. So it is a process to be taken extremely seriously. And I absolutely suggest always checking with your medical professional over your heart health, because when we're releasing things from the nervous system like that, it absolutely is intense. It absolutely feels like we're dying, but in the best way, in the best freaking way. So yeah, I was reframing myself, and I was raising up those who, throughout the process of how I needed to jump timelines and how situations needed to go in divine order, I know that ultimately this is not something that's done to me, it's done for me. I know that even the decisions that people had made around me are directly linked to a divine way that they were meant to go. Because others who can get I'm gonna turn around and walk the other way here and go back around. There's some loud lawnmowers. But and I'm sure you could resonate with this, like a lot of people who can be stuck within their ego, like selfishness, or feeling like that they're overly can't think of the word, but deserving, and that like people need to cater to them, or that they like people who just follow some type of hierarchy roles and systems within their life. These things cannot be dismantled. And they will ultimately not crack open to where God can enter and make transformation happen unless something huge happens. Something huge that really gets to the epicenter of who they are, of their inner child, of the things that they ignore, of the things that they push aside, don't want to acknowledge, that they deem as beneath them. Something major has to happen. And for a lot of us, light workers, shadow walkers, healers of all kind, we're the catalyst for that. You know, we are the tower, or we are the star. And yeah, sure, you could say it comes with a price. Ultimately, in my practice of alchemizing, I don't really feel that. Does it come with a price initially? Yeah, because you've got to put in the effort of healing, of reframing your mind. 2112 on the timer. You know, even choosing solitude. And that way you can do the work. It only feels like it comes with a price if you never step in onto that stage of healing, if you never step into that opportunity. Then, if you don't do that, then you're just standing within the pain, you know, and every single moment, every waking moment, every sleeping moment, every breath, you just feel the weight and the pressure of the cost of what it's costing you. But do not get confused, because it is not the cost of what someone else externally may or may have not done to you. No. Okay, I gotta stop right now because because I feel like there's a very significant reason. It's gonna probably come up and out. Spirit's gonna tell me there's 2222. There's a very good reason why I turned around to walk backwards and the other way, and now why we are seeing the stop signs behind us. I want to sit with this a minute. What are you trying to tell me, Spirit? I know that this is connected to, let me know if anyone else resonates with this, please. Like, put it in the comments. I want to know, because I'm like the only person that I know, and I don't talk about this really with anybody else, but there's something to do with going backwards, clockwise. And when we look at things through almost like a reflective and a backwards lens, we can see things that we were not able to see before. So for instance, when we were walking the opposite way and me holding the camera, you would not have noticed these stop signs. But the fact that I've turned around and I'm walking in the other direction now, you can see all the stop signs, all the places where we were halted. Also, there's a construction happening around me this morning, on the road, and where I was like at the park with doing my stretching and stuff. And so that's very significant. That's coming. I hear Spirit speaking about hangman energy. So a lot of us could still be kind of a little bit, it's like having 1 foot in, 1 foot out of the hermit energy. We're balancing both worlds right now. And so yeah, also hangman energy, where we are perceiving and seeing things through some different perspectives and lenses, and some mirrors around us. And so that's very significant. And also a message of us stopping when we need to. 2444. Knowing when we need to turn around. Knowing when we need to pivot. Okay? So that's very, very important. But what we were talking about before, with reframing our mind and reframing our pain. Yeah, I was saying that, you know, for those who are feeling that pressure, you know, day in, day out with every breath, that feeling of victimhood or pain and that pressure, that is not based on anything external from you. Really, all that it is that pressure is building 25-25 on the timer to show you and to tell you the true ways of how you are to feel, heal, and alchemize your pain and what it is that you feel inside. Because whatever external situation is happening now or has happened, it's just pointing you towards the deeper things that you need to embrace and what wounds they're actually pointing at. You know, is it family wounds, abandonment wounds, unhealthy attachments, and this one is very, very highlighted right now, not just the attachments, but any toxic, Spirit, give me the word, obedience. Toxic obedience, toxic attachment to our caregivers. Okay, that is another very big one. Any toxic obedience. Okay, there's so many different wounds. So whatever you are looking at, whatever you are suspended in at this time, you know, until this fully clears out, which it will very soon. Okay. Oh, hello, little feather. Oh, and this is for, I will show you in a second. It's just a little bit dirty. Okay, this is full energy. Okay, full shows up in the beginning and at the ending of a cycle. Little baby energy. Look at this little feather. It's gray. I don't know if you can quite tell. A beautiful little gray feather. Okay. Spirit's telling me to turn around and walk in the other direction now. This is what we came here for. I'll look up the meaning and I'll link it. I'll link it for you. Put it in my pocket. Thank you, Spirit. I love you. I love you so much. You always care for me, for us, guiding us. It's just that we normally don't know how to decipher your messages, but that's why Jesus talked in parables. And why we need to learn to decipher these messages within ourselves. But yes, so many different wounds to be mindful of and to look at and to feel into. These all exist within the body. We can gain access to them. That is my area of expertise. So if there is anyone in particular, I'll open up that foreground now. Anyone who needs any extra help, let me know. Email, message, if you're on Facebook. With my abilities, I can feel into your body and I can feel into your psyche and help to identify which beliefs it is. So you know exactly what to work on if you're having a hard time connecting with yourself. But also, you know, we can talk about ways and things to do that that does connect you to yourself. And that's going to look differently for every single person, okay? That's why, like, these general messages, I try to pack it full of as much information as I can, you know, to reach different parts of the collective. But ultimately, every journey is so very intimate, it's so very complex, and it's going to look different for every single person. So there is not a one fix all type of thing. You know, we have to get down and dirty. And yeah, love getting down and dirty, love getting my hands dirty. You know, I always wished and thought and imagined that, like, I feel like I had another lifetime where I was a doctor, because, like, I feel like I wish I could be a doctor, a surgeon, specifically a surgeon. But what is amazing that I get to experience, which is even better, is how I get to be an energetic surgeon, because it absolutely is like that. And I'm sure my intuitive psychic friends can resonate with this, because it's like you literally, like an onion, you know, or if you're using a scalpel, you know, you're cutting through these different layers, you're digging deeper, and it's not something that you can see. You know, when surgeons are operating, it's not usually on site. I mean, yeah, these days, you know, they've got scopes, small scopes and cameras and things, but, you know, I'm not talking about that, you know. I'm talking about when, you know, a surgeon or even a farmer, you know, who's helping their animals, they can't see shit. Like, you're going in blind with the inner knowledge that you have, feeling and finding. And, like, damn, just like, what a blessing to be an energetic surgeon. to be able to dig in layer by layer and find where this blood, where this life force is leaking from. And being able to fix that, being able to patch that, like, yeah, that feels great. Now you can see why I have a hard time falling asleep at night, because, like, I'm just having so much fun. I'm having so much excitement in my awake life that it's like, oh man, like, I kind of feel like I gotta, how do I calm myself down? So I've been working on, like, you know, drinking tea, some sleepy time tea at night to help with that. And yeah, it's been really interesting. So keep working on reframing your mind, okay? Every day, you know, no matter how you're waking up, where you're waking up, it needs to be a conscious choice for you to do this. Or at least a conscious choice to, you know, keep up on it on a daily basis. And to not falter, to not fall back into old habits. And that's absolutely a very big, kind reminder from Spirit. And that came out in a reading I posted up yesterday on YouTube. Being the card is spiritual narcolepsy, with falling asleep. So do not fall asleep to what's happening around you. Do not fall asleep and fall back into old habits, because even though you're experiencing shifts, you still need to uphold what you've learned. And that's very important. All right. I'm not going to drag this out anymore. If anybody has any questions further on what I discussed, go ahead. Feel free to interact. I would really, honestly, the community, 3311. 3311, yeah. I absolutely appreciate the community. And, yeah, let's create together. 3322 on the timer. I'll talk to you soon. I love you.